Let's welcome to the Wednesday Wrangle commentator Liz Storer and in Melbourne columnist, commentator, author Justin Smith. Look, guys, I'm going to get your comments first up on Scott Morrison and the censure motion. But before I do that, I just got to show you, remind everybody of this comment, this justification from Scott Morrison today.
Had I been asked about these matters at the time at the numerous press conferences I held, I would have responded truthfully about the arrangements I had put in place.
Order.
Justin, if only you'd asked him.
If only it was that simple. Who would have thought that Scott Morrison could have given a straight answer if somebody asked him a question? God, he is just... I'm speechless. He is just absolutely full of it. I couldn't believe that self-serving garbage from him today. He doesn't get it. He really doesn't get it. He's had this report, the Bell report, telling him he has had the Solicitor General saying that he broke the principles of democracy, and yet he stood up today with that nonsense. I agree with the censure. I know you think there's some politics behind it, and I have no doubt there is a little politics behind it. But I think when we have a Prime Minister pull something like that, I think we've got to have it.
Yeah, look,
we must have it.
Of course there's politics involved in it, and I think Labor's got to move on quickly, Liz, but I think they had to pursue this because this was a breach of trust with the public. This idea that if you'd only asked me, I think it's just absurd.
Yeah, exactly. And here he was making out like he was a martyr. I mean, the entire speech was terrible, but my raise the hand and ask to be passed a bucket moment was when he closed off saying, I will now do as my faith instructs and turn the other cheek. Like he was the martyr in all this. Like several clandestine meetings with the GG, snaffling up ministerial portfolios unbeknownst to anyone. Nobody has said this was the right thing to do, and yet he is still defiant.
I got a feeling you'll agree with me too. This is a classic example of pandemic overreach, pandemic power grab.
Yeah, exactly. But he took it, didn't he? He was not above it, although he posed it. While the premiers all looked terrible, he often just stood on the sidelines pretending it was all them. Well.
Bring on the Royal Commission, I say. Let's have a crack at the Labor Party, though, because I've got to have a look at this guy, this Labor politician who, I don't know, thinks he's the poet laureate of federal parliament. Have a look.
On the first day of Christmas, the Morrison government went splat. A Labor government was elected, thank goodness for that. On the 5th day of Christmas, it was time to right a wrong. We let a beautiful family go home to billow, just where they belong. And on the 12th day of Christmas, under Morrison it wasn't easy, but we can now all rejoice it's Christmas with Albanese.
A good laugh, Justin, or do we demand our money back for paying that guy's salary?
Doesn't really seem to be a good use of parliamentary time. And in fact, we've had a bad run. We've had a crappy speech from a former Prime Minister, and then we've had a pretty lacklustre attempt at a Christmas. Look, it's probably not the worst thing that's ever happened in Parliament, but yeah, I think we can do some better work, don't you?
I think so. I think we can do better than that. Although I did do a television story once that was all in poetry. And so I shouldn't cast the first stone, I suppose. Now, we're nearly out of time. We've got crunch for time tonight. Starting with you, Liz, are you setting the alarm for 2 o'clock this morning to get up and watch the Socceroos?
Oh, it's going to be a tough game. I think I will just wait till it's over and arise in the morning to find out. The good news is we just need a draw. Denmark need a win to go through. We just need a draw.
God, that means it could be the most boring game in the world. Are you going to watch it, Justin?
No, I won't be watching it. I'll check the score in the morning, but I'll be pushing out the Zs at that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, if you're having a restless night, if you can't sleep, flick on the soccer about 2. Apparently we're playing for a draw. Thanks for wrangling, Liz and Justin. We'll see you next week. That is all the time we've got for you tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.